Hey, Casa, welcome.
Mauricio, this house is beautiful.
It's a super old apartment that was obviously modernized, but it had a really weird floor plan, right? We don't have a very big entryway or anything like that. So when I started working on the layout, the kitchen ended up here. Then I thought, wow, people are gonna walk into the house and have to go right through the middle of the kitchen. But I think it's totally my vibe, you know? Bright, colorful, with this open area and a garden.
You embraced it, right? The kitchen is part of your living room. So with this stainless steel countertop here, right? It looks beautiful.
This apartment has a lot of thrifted finds. I love thrifting. I value an old piece so much more than a new one. This is a little drawer chest, right? A small chest of drawers. These handles are called little bow ties, right? That's what we call. So they're super traditional. It's made of jacaranda wood. And then this niche showed up during the renovation, and I said, I'm gonna find a sideboard for here. And then it's that thing. You just wait, and eventually you'll find it. So while thrifting, I said, that's it. I found it.
Let's show this half bath then with the stone whose color I've already seen.
This is Pedro do Paraná, which is a marble from Paraná, a Brazilian marble, from Michelangelo Marmor. We say it's a dolomitic marble. It's a super resistant marble. It has this amazing, intense red color. I've always been into little plant pots, and then it was the same thing. This niche showed up, and I said, oh, I'm good. Plants are gonna love it, like, because there's gonna be direct light coming in and all that. This is kind of like a plant hospital too, you know? Like they come here and, well, I move them all over, from the living room to the bathroom, just rotating them as they...
It turned out really beautiful.
This is Neve. Say hi, Neve.
She's doing great, right?
As chill as can be, right? I love Sinox because you can see it's all scratched up, all used, but yeah.
That's what I was going to ask, because there are pros and cons. Because over in Italy, people use it a lot, right? My husband is Italian, so when I go to Italian homes, they use everything made of stainless steel.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting, but it scratches, and some people just can't use it.
Yeah, if you go into any industrial kitchen, a professional kitchen, they've got stainless steel because it's the easiest material to clean.
Yeah.
It's a material where you can put pots on it. It's super hygienic.
Yeah, the sanitation is perfect.
But it's a material that scratches. And I think that's the beauty of the material, you know? Like I always say, it's about how well the material ages. And that's what stainless steel is. That's its characteristic. I wouldn't trade it for anything, honestly.
By the way, Mauricio taught at the school where I graduated in interior design. Too bad we never met. But that's what you like, isn't it? Or do you not like it? How is it to clean? Because I have a bit of a bias. Because when I pull... Okay, but you're talking about stainless steel, right? Back in Bahia, where there's polished concrete, sometimes there are little holes, drops leak out, and then you have to clean it up.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's super practical.
Because honestly, it does look nicer, right?
Yeah, like I think it makes things easier. You don't end up with that trash can sitting out. Actually, there's a bin inside here, right? So actually, I take out the whole bin and everything. I recycle my trash, so... Actually, there are 3 here. This house has 3 different trash bins. This one here is for composting waste. I have a composter in the laundry room, so it's just fruit peels and stuff like that. Here, there's a recycling bin, which is for things like plastic, fabric, and cardboard. So this doesn't smell and it's not dirty. And actually, this is our biggest volume of trash, right? This is what our waste should really be like. And then we have a trash bin for dirty landfill waste, which is a little bin right over there.
From the shower, right?
Which is really like the dog's pee pad.
Plastic zone. Some things can't go in the compost, like that lemon can't, right?
That's right. Things with oil, salt, or leftover cooked food. The cabinetry is from a brand called New, which is part of the Delano Group. They also did the bathrooms, and they have this line called New Custom Furniture. And they had this lacquer color. They were just launching it. When I did it about 1.5 years ago, there was a color called Forest, which is this really foresty green. When
you use stainless steel, you can really go all out with the handmade crafts you love, and it still looks super sophisticated. Since stainless steel gives off a really modern vibe, It actually paired really well with these rustic pieces you have.
Actually, these are my everyday dishes. These are the plates, bowls, and mugs that are here. These are just everyday things. This is also a type of pottery, which eventually went out of production, but it's a rustic ceramic. I mean, I like it, and I think you said something. Yeah, I like this kind of mix. This unexpected combination of materials. Like, wow, this material right next to that one. Yeah, I think that thing that mixes a sense of strangeness with experimentation. I think I have more freedom to do that in my own home than in my clients' homes.
Yeah, so you really use it. Lab, looking to.
An architect's home is a lab for me.
I honestly cannot even believe this.
Finish this room, for example. All the walls, there's nothing white here. Everything is painted beige. It's a beige from coral, the ceiling, all the walls. So there's no white. And that helps tone down the brightness of these colors, which are really bright. If you put a turquoise blue there on a white wall, it's gonna look like a playroom, or bright red.
Or bright red like this.
A bold green, a terracotta, any of those will obviously make it feel a lot sunnier, but you have to be careful so it doesn't end up looking too colorful, So it's a more subdued kind of colorful.
And textures that also absorb that. The textures are porous. Exactly. So it reflects but doesn't shine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lower the tone without actually dropping it.
This is a new sofa. It's a sofa for menu. Actually, it was kind of customized. I changed this design a little bit, but the Jean Gillen sofa is the one I've had for many years. The Geraldo de Barros armchair is also a piece I hunted down for this place. This is the bookshelf I designed.
It's beautiful.
I also wanted to work with darker woods, too. I think this palette was really clear in my mind. I didn't want to work with oak or freesia. I wanted to work with Sucupira wood. I knew I had a lot of jacaranda, so especially in this social area, it's darker. And I think it's also about experimenting. I wouldn't experiment with a sofa because a sofa is expensive. It's a big piece and it's hard to fix. But the wall is the easiest thing to repaint. So try it out, like paint it, then paint it again. Just repaint it. Yeah, repaint it. That's it. When I bought this armchair by Geraldo de Barros, I thought I'm going to put a really beautiful, gorgeous beige fabric on it. Then the armchair got here and I was like, wow, it died. The armchair,
It died, right?
I told my upholsterer, the next day, come pick up the armchair. What happened? I said, forget it. I messed up. I just bought a striped green fabric. Come here. And that's it, It's all about trying things out.
Now tell me, what's your favorite thing here? In a fire, if you had to get out, what would you carry on your back?
Wow, that is actually a really good question. Let me see. 3
minutes, just one gown.
Wow, can I say? It's actually an object that's in there, actually. It was a stone. I'll find it later. It's a stone with a wonderful story. I'm from Paraná. And in Paraná, there's a river that runs through it an important one called the Tibamagi River. And my grandparents had a farm where the Tibagi River ran through the property. I was really little. I must have been about 5 or 6 years old. And the Tibagi Drive. So me, my brother, my dad, and my grandpa, we went out to walk on the dry riverbed. It's an image that really stuck in my mind. And my grandpa found a stone during that walk and gave it to me. It was actually a tool, you see, for cutting, kind of like a little hammer.
It must have been worked on, right? It probably wasn't just the river.
Yeah, for sure. It was shaped by someone.
That's beautiful.
And I have this. Anyway, it's been with me for many years now. And I think that's it. That's my story. It's this place. It's my dad, my grandpa. So it's always close by. Here we have a rectangular column. And in a lot of projects, that's a trick, right? It was covered with plaster, made round, because I think a round column in the middle of a space doesn't have any edges, so it's a bit more fluid.
It blocks the flow, the circulation. Yeah.
Even though it's still a column, but isn't it going to get bigger? Yes, it does get bigger. It's a cover, right? And that's something I decided to just go with. Honestly, my lifelong dream was to have a terrace and have greenery. Plants, fruit, vegetable garden. Here, the ceiling is really low. I think it's about 2 meters here, just over 6.5 feet. It's really low. So I think the first thing is there's no ceiling light, just these wall sconces. So the idea is to throw the light upward. That's one trick. And really, to use everything. The same material, it's a white cement, right? Basically, it's so you lose a bit of the sense of this place. Super closed in, dark, low ceiling.
Look at this terrace.
This here is an ipe wood deck, and it hasn't been treated at all. The most beautiful thing about ipe is that it ages in an amazing way.
I like this color.
This is a tank, which is actually a concrete pipe. It's like a cattle watering trough. I worked with a company that makes water tanks, stainless steel watering troughs. I said, I want to make a tank. Actually, it's something that already exists in the United States, but in Brazil it didn't. So we designed it for that. Basically, it works like a swimming pool. It has a filter. It's hidden behind that box.
But you adapted it. I did.
I was the one who adapted it. And then the engineering company, we did a project here. You can see all the piping. So you have a sewage inlet, a filter inlet. It has chlorine, all of that. All right. And then there's an automatic filter. At night it turns on, filters for an hour, and during the day it stays covered. It's uncovered right now. The lid is put away. Yeah.
So you can save water.
Yep.
Get in?
Can you get in? Let's get.
Ice, guys. Ice challenge.
It's not heated.
But I want to, right? Our pulpar and I want to come in.
No, it's great. Like, it's really nice. I said, no, I don't want any tiling. I don't want ceramic or stone. So this here is a slab that's waterproof and has about 5 centimeters of gravel to give it more of a garden look. Really, for real.
But then you just made a slope, directing the water to a rain column so it could drain.
Yeah, there are drains all in that. Oh.
Fish bones?
Yeah, that's the one. I've got araucata, uvaya, guambe, starfruit, some plants, some trees that were already here, jabuticaba, and so on. And here's the vegetable garden. This here is lettuce, here's arugula, over there is kale, and here's beetroot. So you just go heating. After a while, it starts getting more fibrous and stuff. Then I clear everything out and plant it all over again. I think during the pandemic, like, my life was just crazy. I was living at 200 miles an hour, and overnight, it happened to everyone. Like, suddenly, we were all stuck at home. And I realized my whole life was outsourced. My food was frozen. I had frozen meals for lunch, frozen meals for dinner, every day, because things were just so hectic. All of this is kind of a movement. Like, you're not a kid anymore. Take care of yourself. You do all this, you take care of everyone, but take better care of yourself or your health.
What are the things you do to take care of yourself? Because some people say, I'd like to, but I just can't take care of myself. What do you have here? Do you have irrigation? Who set this up for?
Yo, first of all, it's a lot of work. You get bugs. Plants die, you get mealy bugs, there's all kinds of stuff. That's just how it is. That's totally alive. It's totally alive. Some things work out, some things don't. I planted zucchini, and the parakeets came and ate all the zucchinis on the same day. They die, so we have to replant. So, I started to understand that too. But I think these are key things, like having really good soil. All the plants, the seedlings, and the soil here comes from Espanol planters, which is the
Yeah, they
supply a lot of people. They supply a lot of people, and they really care. They take good care of the seedlings and the soil, the earth itself. So the quality of the soil is really important. The seedlings are amazing. Almost all the seedlings we planted here are Brazilian species, and there's irrigation. I think if you don't start with at least those 3 things, it's definitely going to be harder. And then there's also maintenance. Yeah, once a month.
You have to fertilize.
Wow, yeah. There's a gardener who comes about every 40 days or so. I do the heavy lifting. And he comes mostly to do that, to fertilize, apply some pesticide, or replant a seedling. I think we've kind of lost touch with the real timing of things, Like, we listen to WhatsApp messages at 2.0 speed. I listen to 2.0 speed.
Trying to stop because my brain is kind of melting a little.
So I think that cooking, waiting for your food to be ready, having a garden where you have to wait 6 months, I think we need to reconnect with things that have a real time frame. That's the real pace of our lives, So for me, this is kind of like a way to balance out the craziness, which is a bit what my life is like too. Like, it's a kind of therapy. Well, it's not therapy. I think therapy is analysis. I do therapy too, but this is a way for you to connect with yourself, with time, with things that work out, things that don't, with your food, with all of that.
I do this in Bahia. In Bahia, you're working there. You're getting experience there. We arrive in Bahia going at 3.5 speed, coming from Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
They put us in our place in 2 seconds, and they do it with such elegance. Like, I'm not going to help you right now. Just wait. Everything's going to work out. Trust Bahia. That's what I hear the most. And in the end, everything works out. And we're the only ones who got stressed out.
The top part is retractable, and this part made of reed is fixed. The idea was actually to use the tarp. I could make it so it doesn't rain in him. So sometimes we're here and it starts to rain, but we don't necessarily have to run out. And this here actually is more to filter the sunlight. This is pool tile, which has this edge finish. Honestly, it's a lot of work to do this here. I didn't really say it right, did I?
It was really absolutely super.
Easy. It's a hell of a job just to make it look easy. That's it. This is a countertop that mixes masonry with stone. So this here was made with a granite countertop. It's a great, super cheap way for you to get it perfectly level. These days, it's actually easier to make it out of stone than to make it out of reinforced concrete.
Yeah.
And then you add this coating, and the grout is there exactly because the parakeets come here and poop. Otherwise, that white grout would last about a week, you know? Actually, I use this. I end up using it more as
To water the plants?
a support, to wash things, to set down a pot. This ends up turning into dirt, but I just hose it down and it gets clean again.
It's really beautiful. Congratulations.
Next time, we'll have lunch up here. Yeah. The idea was to make this door blend in, a hidden door. So this is what gives us access to the bedrooms. This was the part of the apartment I changed the least. So the apartment, it originally had 3 bedrooms. So I have 1 bedroom here, another here, and 1 over there. 1 is the storage room, the messy room.
Have to open it, guys.
My bedroom, and the guest room. Back then, the floor plans were really old-fashioned, so there was no such thing as a suite. So there were 2 bathrooms that opened onto this hallway, and all these bedrooms used that hallway. I wanted to have the balcony inside my bedroom.
Fair enough. Fair, I get it.
Guys, this is really how it is. Real life, huh?
Wow, I wish real life was like this. Smell that aroma.
Office mess.
We're also going to bring smell to the channel. Look at that.
So that balcony in the living room is the same balcony that's here. And the bedrooms are exactly the original size. It was already a bedroom here. Actually, all the bedrooms have this old wardrobe. My carpenter kept saying, let's take it out, let's replace it. Take out the wardrobe, take out the wardrobe. I said, no, the wardrobe is like, no, it's a solid wood wardrobe. Yup.
Lacquered the same doors, right? You didn't replace the doors.
No, the doors are the same. They were just lacquered. But then you do things like, I changed the hinges, put in lighting inside.
LED. The shirts, guys. I'm not about to become a fashion influencer or anything, but they're gorgeous.
So that's what I did, you see?
Yeah, because it's solid wood structure. It's something you just can't find anymore. Yeah.
This here is natural wood veneer. It's like making a wardrobe with natural wood veneer inside. All the drawers are made of Cavalluna wood. So that's it. It's kind of like modernizing something. So we brought in an electrician, hooked up a light, made some changes. We changed the hinges, I swapped out the handles. And that was basically like new. The ceiling in this room, that was the idea, to make it a little brighter. And these beams, they weren't here before. These beams, they're fake.
Oh, because I was going to ask, how did you embed this?
Lighting? Exactly for that reason. To create these lighting points. So this is my bedroom. And this closet, actually, it's an extension of the bedroom. So this here is basically like my walk-in closet, right? So actually, over here is a section for linens, because you live
alone. Maybe you just close that off and you're here by yourself.
Exactly, yeah. So, and here, the bathroom door is hidden in this. Here's a shoe rack, and here's the bathroom.
He doesn't have an ensuite, but look at his bathroom. You'd say, Wow, it's modest. But look at this bathroom.
So this is a Brazilian stone. It's called verde marines. It's a stone that comes from Sierra. It kind of looks like terrazzo, right? But that's just how the stone is. And here we only have these two materials, which is this stone. I wanted to do like the minimum number of materials possible in this white tile. That's it. And like two things I love in a house, bathrooms and kitchens.
You're the hardest to design. You.
Think so?
Ah, kitchens and bathrooms have so many details, right? Living rooms, honestly, aside from the lighting. And here, what is this? Is it lacquer?
This is lacquer too. Yeah.
It's well done.
This is also from the... And I was lucky with that. They had this lacquer in their line, which is a very similar color.
Really? Yeah.
I was lucky to find exactly the same color.
I'm a designer interviewer, so here you make the connection. Look, is this metallic?
The metal profile. If there's any kind of seepage in the stone, that water will never reach the edge of the wood, right? It's like there's a kind of barrier. The bottom part is embedded under the wood flooring. And then it acts like a wall so you can reach the stone and keep everything level. Ideally, this should have a step, right? Yeah.
Even for cleaning the...
Exactly, yeah. But here, I chose not to have it, okay?
Yep.
Yes, but ideally, this
You guys gave us 1 centimeter, right?
1 centimeter. These doors are original to the apartment too. The door frame is original. The doors are...
Original. I don't know. Just me here.
I don't know, just me here. Door leaf was lacquered elsewhere and the frame was lacquered. We took off the trim, I did this. You like details.
Yeah.
I did this detail, which is...
Here for the details.
It's a groove to make it a bit more modern, to remove the molding, right?
Yes, indeed.
The baseboard is also inverted and all that.
Yeah.
Then I dyed it.
That is absolutely wonderful.
And here we have the guest room. Well, this room gets a lot of use, not just by guests, but it kind of turned into my TV room, you know? It's a design by Regina Strumpf for Branco, which are these clouds. And here the idea was to do something a little more playful, right?
I think that even though we have this variety of materials, black and white really ties everything together. Everything, right? Everything. Like,
People say, wow, you use a lot of black. I tell them, no, I use black because I use a lot of color.
exactly.
So you can use...
What a color. You can pull it off because if things get confusing, you tie it all together with black and white. Yeah. Really good.
It's good. Someone comes to take pictures and film every now and then because we were here all morning. Come here, go upstairs. Grab the Cece because she likes the candle. Go ahead, took that. Yesterday, Rafa and I spent time organizing the house. It's so nice to have people over.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See, thanks a lot. No, really.
It's nothing.
Now I want to have you over at my place in the
At the pig house.
It's all because
I keep dreaming about it.
no, you have to go.
And now we're gonna have one.
Guys, thank you. Thank you.